What's up, guys? Greetings from Houston, Texas. Mike coming at you from AT Astro Error of Truth Aspect and Predictive or Relationship Astrology. And today I'm going into karmic relationships a little bit because they're really important. And anybody who dives into a relationship analysis in the astrological community, the topic of past lives and coming into contact with people where you share a karmic history is always inevitably going to pop up. Because of the inevitable circle of life, things tend to recycle themselves and come back. Lessons have to be learned. You have to come across people you have unfinished business with in this life to fix something that happened in a past life many times. So karmic relationships are interesting. We actually tend to come across a lot of them throughout our lifetime. And they're of varying importance. I mean, because you met a lot of people in your last life, or your life before that, or before that, or before that. And it builds up, things that happen between the two individuals create something called karmic debt. And it has to undergo a process while you're, in this life. Like, you either have to fix the problem or you have to go and atone for a past mistake through pain. And karmic relationships are sort of, a way to kind of get that out. A lot of times also karmic relationships can help push you towards your mission, your karmic goal, what you need to do in this life to push yourself into the next level. Everybody has a mission. And we all know what that mission is. It's buried deep down in here. It's just some people are a lot more attuned to it than others, and some people are just scared to death of it. It just depends on how your particular chart is set up. And karmic relationships are not easy. They're never easy. I don't get into the whole twin flames thing. I think I've said it again, said it before. This is not my first video on karmic relationships, but the whole concept of like two souls that were split in half and then separated and then y'all came together to make each other whole, that's not really a thing. Everybody is a whole individual. Now, in order to recognize the different parts of the whole and recognize who you truly are, you usually have to go through quite a bit of pain. And other people can be a mirror to you, to show you that pain and that side of yourself that you want to take care of and fix to move forward in this life. And you can usually find this in the natal chart by checking out the nodes, nodal contacts. Now, there's more to it, but you need to establish that a karmic connection does in fact exist. And the nodes are going to point you to that. You're usually looking for conjunctions, like somebody's north node sitting on one of your personal planets or an angle, and then one of their nodes sitting on one of your personal planets as well. You're really looking for a double whammy in this respect. Just having one nodal contact means the person's significant for you, but that doesn't mean there's a past life history. Now, the faster moving planets are more important. The angles are really important. Those are the biggest ones. Having somebody who has their sun, moon, Venus, Mars, Jupiter, ascendant especially, conjunct your north node is going to be a healthy karmic relationship. If somebody's got planets sitting on top of your south node, the opposite end of the circle from the north node, because the south node represents what you've already mastered in your past life, that feels really comfortable, and that is karmic, but it's not the same type of karma. You are actually just sort of wallowing in what it was you did in the past life. It's not really healthy. It's not conducive to growth. And at the end of the day, a lot of times you tend to walk away from those relationships eventually because you learned what you needed to learn. So people have an obsessive drive to reach their north node mission. The only thing about that, though, is it's scary. For a lot of people, it is terrifying. So when somebody feels threatened, they retreat back into the qualities of their south node. So, like for instance, my south node is in Cancer in the second house. The second house is all about, getting things for your own, getting things for yourself. And then Cancer is, it's all about emotionality and sort of recoiling and protecting yourself emotionally. So like when I feel threatened, I tend to get really, really, really emotional and then just retreat and go away. And then I revert back to I need to, earn for myself. But when you're feeling good and you're feeling like you're getting pushed towards your mission, you look at the house and you look at the sign that your north node falls in. And when you start to embody those qualities, you experience the most growth. It's just so difficult for some people, because some people will have a lot of personal planets, like their sun, their moon, or whatever, sitting right there on the south node. And it's just their personality is so deeply rooted I mean, it gives you a really good sense of self of who you are and what you're good at, but you stay so rooted in your past life, you stay so rooted in what's comfortable to you that you don't do as much growing. You can, but it's just more difficult. You have to really experience quite a few ego deaths to pull yourself forward in a healthy direction. Now, when you see nodal contacts in synastry, then it shows that this person is going to pull you into your karmic mission. You don't have to stay in that relationship. In fact, it's rarely going to be easy. In fact, it might be fucking scary. In fact, most really, really important relationships can be really fucking scary. There's a lot of hesitation, but you still, it's difficult for you to break the bond. The bond exists for a reason. And on top of that, what I've noticed is relationships that have heavy nodal contacts, there's also going to be it's not going to be, there's always Pluto involved, there's always Saturn involved, there's always Neptune involved. So there's delusion related to it. It can get really nasty. Karmic relationships are never easy. Now, once you have established that there is in fact a karmic relationship, and it has to meet it has to meet a set series of criteria. There has to be double whammy nodal contacts. There has to be something going on with the vertex. If you've got somebody that has your vertex lands on their angle or their angle lands on your vertex, preferably a double whammy, that just even further reaffirms things. And then once you have established that, you can start adding asteroids if you do so choose to sort of give a little bit of, more of the picture. Like, if somebody's north node falls on your ascendant, then that means their south node falls on your descendant. And it's really likely that y'all were probably in a physical relationship or some sort of romantic relationship in a past life. If you add like Eros or Amor or Saga, the asteroid Saga, check that one out because that has to do with family history and periods of turmoil involving your people, your culture. You can use asteroids and check out their conjunctions to their planets, and you're looking for conjunctions and you're looking for really tight orbs. That can give you even more of an idea of what's going on. Look at the relationship, look at the asteroid karma, where the asteroid karma is conjuncting any planet in their natal chart or an angle. And then once you've established, there's something going on, some sort of karmic relationship, and then you can check out the composite or the Davison. And you look at where the north node falls in that. Hopefully it's doing something spectacular to kind of, really, it's conjunct a planet or something like that, so it's easier to follow that mission. But you look at the sign and you look at the house. And that's the direction that the relationship needs to go towards for, both of y'all at the same time to experience the type of growth. Now, it's rarely easy. And the sad thing about karmic relationships is because they're so difficult, a lot of times they end up falling apart when it gets too intense. And then it sucks because you're going to meet again. If it doesn't get resolved in this life, it's going to keep circling over and over and over again until you get it right. And that's the big problem with karmic relationships. And you can have karmic relationships with anybody. You can have karmic relationships with your friends. You can have them with a coworker. You can have it with a lover. And those are the most intense. You can have it with a parent. I mean, you'll sense something though. You always sense something. There's just such a draw. It can get so intense. I've been in quite a few karmic relationships. And I also analyze charts rather obsessively. So I'm usually able to get a clear picture. I usually never tell the other person exactly the nature, like what I'm thinking or what I've noticed, because it's a little bit out there if you're not into astrology. But still, they always will change you. They'll always end up sparking some sort of process of development in yourself so that you can move forward into a next life. And I'm pretty good at breaking down karmic connections. So if anybody watching this is, would like to have a consultation or something like that, and I can actually really help kind of clarify things a little bit. But I hope this was helpful. I do have a podcast as well, Outrage Astrology. It is available on Podbean, Spotify, iTunes, and Google Play Music. And like I said, I do offer consultations. Just feel free to hit me up via email or on my personal Facebook profile. And I will see y'all guys again shortly. Cheers.